Alright, this is the enclosed trailer. It's 24 foot plus, I think it's a 2 foot V-nose. It looks longer than that, but anyways, this is what I'm going to use for a toy hauler conversion. So you can see I got some stuff still in here. I've already started insulating the ceiling, which has gone easier than I was anticipating. So I put this little sill foam in between. Ooh, yeah, that's hot. I put that in between the ceiling, the roof, and this because this is going to be hotter touching than this. I don't know if that makes sense. So I put some double face carpet tape up there to help keep this in place, and I did that on all of the metal here. Keep it from touching metal on metal, and that'll keep it hopefully from getting super hot. Alright, so I got my thermal camera here, and this little insulation pad seems to be working. Now you can see the tube is 106 degrees. Alright, which is still hot. That was the one that has the insulation, right? This one, $120 degrees. So 14-degree difference. I mean, it's still hot, right? But it's better than it was. And of course you can still see that's actually pretty good. I mean, this is 87. That's 87. That's 110, 120. Unfortunately, this is R5 1-inch insulation board. And then on the ceilings, this is the cheapest stuff I could find. It's 2.7 millimeter. I don't know, some sort of plywood. I am a little worried that it will warp and bow and have bellies in it, but I think it'll be alright. I actually think I'm gonna stain it too to give it, more a homey look. Alright, so this is all the stuff that I had sitting around and I've acquired from Amazon for doing this. So I had this generator panel already from a liquidation pallet, as well as this. This is aluminum reinforced PEX. So this is, I've never used it, but apparently it's pretty good for, like, holding corn, bins and stuff like that. I got this Bosch 7-gallon tank, 110 volt water heater, and usually go for $300. The dude was making a toy hauler and never used it, so he says. So I paid $200 for that, and then it looks like I even got some free shark bite fittings. I also bought these two tanks from the guy. This is a 40-gallon. That's a 20-gallon. I think I'm gonna use a 40-gallon, and I'm not gonna mount it underneath the trailer. I'm gonna mount it, or I'm gonna just put it underneath the bed. Some random wiring I had, some stranded stuff. I bought this sink off Amazon, which I'll have everything linked in the description. It's a stainless steel sink. It was like 120 bucks, came with everything. It looks pretty good, except for the faucet is a little cheesy looking, or cheesy feeling, but I figure this way it's small, it's wall mounted, and I won't have to worry about it cracking and being heavy or whatever. This is the pump, water pump, 12 volt. I couldn't find anything I particularly liked on Amazon as far as like interior lights, and these are nice because they got the switch built into them, so you really just run power to it. Some of the stuff I'll put on a wall switch as well, but yeah. So this is shower drain. I'm not gonna have a black water tank. I'm just gonna let it drain on the ground. I won't be using it that much, and then if it's an issue where it's draining out, I'll have like a little hookup for a garden hose. This is a 60 amp breaker for the onboard battery. Just in case there's a short, this will be hooked right up after, or right on the battery. Or this will be the first thing in line on the battery. Got some 14 gauge positive negative wire here. That was Amazon. This is that carpet tape I was talking about, double-sided carpet tape. That works good. Just a battery shut-off switch in case there's any issues. This is a fuse block. So you hook up positive and negative to it, and then you can have all your circuits, and it actually even shows you. There's little indicator lights when there's a blown fuse. This is the battery cable, some battery terminal connector or covers. These are some other covers. Actually, I ordered both these. These look better. Those are bigger. So we'll see what happens there. This is the fill port. I was thinking about doing one of these, and then like just a gravity drain fill port for the tank. But I think I can just use this and have the vent for the tank go out the bottom, and then that way when it becomes full, it just starts overflowing out the bottom, then you know it's full. And there'll be a series of valves to get that to work. But you got terminal lugs, some more lugs, and heat shrink. And this is a little fan that'll be for the shower. And this thing, honestly, the outside looks like maybe some brittle plastic, and it's actually relatively small. I don't know anything compared to it, but it's actually pretty small. I was a little concerned. I literally just hooked it up to a battery, and a sucker pushes out some air. So this will be mounted on the side here. Mount this probably somewhere in here. Wherever the shower ends up being, it'll be on a switch. Does not have like a one-way valve or anything, but I'm going to use just a regular AC vent on the inside with like a little louver, so you can shut it off there. Alright, so that's all the stuff I got. I got more stuff on the way, but that's a majority of it. Alright, so I got all the panels in, and I went ahead and went over all the seams and studs with black duct tape. Alright, this is really rude and crude, but I have ran the 12-volt wiring. It doesn't look great, but it's hard to plan this out because I'm building this as I go, figuring out what I need. But what I do know I need is a light in the bathroom, and I can still put this on a switch when I build the partition wall here. And then, but the light fixture also has a built-in switch, so I can just have constant power to this and it'll be fine. And it goes over here. This is where the exhaust fan will be, and I can put a switch over here. And I got this as a service loop, so I got plenty of slack. So then it goes over here. I guess I've kind of decided that my fuse box will be somewhere down here for whatever reason. I don't know, I just kind of think that's where it'll end up. And then this wire comes over here. This will be your light for inside. And then it'll also come over here. You'll have constant power, and this will be for like outside lights. So basically that'll go down to here and put a switch for outside lights. And I guess I can still put a switch for this light, but I don't know. It's more work. So that's pretty much the 12-volt wiring. And I think I'm going to start putting up the wood next. All right, this is coming out awesome. I'm actually pretty surprised how good it's coming out. Everything looks actually relatively square, except for this 1x1 bows in down here. But that's okay. Everything else is good. I got it screwed off every 24 inches. This is the holes for where the wires are. Come on. See the wires there. And I still haven't found the wire on this one, but all I gotta do is make that hole a little bit bigger. You can see I just on the seams of the 4x8 sheets, I just put a big washer in this screw. It's a 3/4 inch screw, Lowe's, and that way I can just freaking butt it up against it, and then same thing here, and then I pushed it up in the middle and drilled that. So I marked everything, and I'm gonna put like a small piece of wood over this. But I'm surprised how tight this is. So now I gotta do the last one, which is a tricky one, just basically because of the angles here. So back in the day, I would never be able to freaking get this on the first shot, but I think I can get on the first shot, not waste any panels. But all right, next is going to be measuring this out. Alright, I got the ceiling all done. Actually, I take that back. I gotta make some strips to go over these to hold this together. I'm just gonna rip a 2x4 down and some strips. But this was the hardest part right here, which my gaps on this side are decent, and then this side is a little off, but you see how I'm gonna do the insulated walls. I'm not gonna take this off. I'm actually gonna leave it up, and then I'm gonna put 2-inch insulation. I found some 2-inch insulation on Marketplace, so 4x8 sheets, and I'm just gonna stick it up there, and then I'll probably use the double-faced tape to kind of just hold it in place, and then I'm going to put 7/16 OSB right over top of it and screw it with like a probably, I don't know, 2.5 inch, 3-inch screw. So, and then, like I said, it's only going to come to right here. So that way, doing it that way, you don't have any metal beams, which are conductors. You don't have any of those stopping the insulated panel. So it'll be a seamless, well, it'll have seams, but there won't be any gaps. It'll be all 2-inch, and then that way you don't have any of that transfer from the studs. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I guess I gotta go get some 2x4s now. Alright, you can see I've got these 2 boards in, so 8 linear feet. You can see the 2-inch insulation right there. And basically I'm just, some of them use a 3.5 inch, some of them using a 3-inch. Hopefully I'm not hitting the metal. I don't think I'm hitting the metal. But yeah, so that's what we're working with. I guess this will go. So yeah, these screws is just sandwiching. It's just sandwiching the whatever it's called, the insulation on there, and that way we're sealed up. Alright, so you can see I got this wall done and this front V-nose wall. I don't know why I decided to go from vertical seam to horizontal seam, but whatever. So there's spray foam behind here. And you can see I got spray foam here because I wasn't good at figuring out the angles. So just gotta rip all this off now. And then all we got left is this wall, this, and then I gotta make the partition. And the partition I'm just gonna use regular fiberglass batt insulation. Alright, so the ceiling is all done, and, well, I take that back, it's not all done. I gotta put some strips. I'm gonna rip a 2x4 down, so it'll be 1.5 inches wide. I think it'll probably be maybe 1/2 inch thick, maybe 3/8 thick, and then I'll have these screws that'll hold everything tight, so we don't have any of that. But I figured I have this stain right here. It's just regular. Just regular stain. I had it red chestnut. It's not looking very red, but I figured why not? I already got the stuff, so might as well use it up. Alright, so I got all of the walls insulated, got the ceiling, I did the stain, and I caulked that seam at the bottom, caulked those. So now I need to do the epoxy. So we got the hooks, the 4 hook points, and I masked those off. So anyways, now it's time to do the epoxy. What, baby?
I can work with you.
Huh?
I can work with
Okay.
you.
Perfect. We're gonna work together.
Yeah.
So this is the epoxy I'm using. It's Dove Gray.
Yep.
I've used this stuff a handful of times, and why is it like that? This is left over from another project, but this stuff works good. It's the first time I've ever used it on wood. I've always used it on concrete, and I've always had bubbles when it's on concrete. So I'm hoping finally no bubbles since we're using it on the wood. But it's 2 to 1, so I'm just gonna mix it up in there, put it in here. I'll do a little roly, and then this I kind of use this to get it up to the edges because over here I didn't mask, so I'll just use it to get it close to the edge. What do you think, Char? Yeah. Okay. All right. Alright, this is the first coat of the epoxy. This is normal, all these bubbles and all this separation. This is normal. But, so that's the first coat. The second coat is going to look a lot better, and we'll see if we got enough for a third coat or if we need it. Or if I need to order more. Alright, 2 coats down, 1 more coat to go. There are some imperfections, but I think those all get hidden on the third coat, and if not, it'll be is what it is. But you can see here, this stuff makes it really easy for cleanup and just literally wiping stuff down and sweeping. So anyways, I'm gonna set up a tripod and do a time lapse. Alright, this is the first coat of the epoxy. This is normal, all these bubbles and all this separation. This is normal. But, so that's the first coat. The second coat is going to look a lot better, and we'll see if we got enough for a third coat or if we need it. Or if I need to order more. Alright, 2 coats down, 1 more coat to go. There are some imperfections, but I think those all get hidden on the third coat, and if not, it'll be is what it is. But you can see here, this stuff makes it really easy for cleanup and just literally wiping stuff down and sweeping. So anyways, I'm gonna set up a tripod and do a time lapse. Alright, so this is an exciting step done. Got the partition wall all in there. And I don't know. Alright, so I just measured. Looks like from here to the very front we got 10'4", which I guess the V nose is roughly 2 feet. So that's 10 foot. And if you look here from the wall to here, that's 50 inches, which a full-size bed is 54, so I'm just going to get some memory foam ones and then just cut them down 4 inches just to help save on space just a wee little bit. And I think I'm going to start the shower wall right here, come over. So I guess that's next. Alright, so I just went and ripped these 2x4s down to this angle on the table saw. So this would be the shower curb, and then this is going to be just thick enough where my board is going to sit, my wall panel is going to sit on top, and that way the water just drains down. And I'm going to use, I saw another guy on the YouTube, he used Flex Seal, so that's what we're going to use. And it does have a little bit of a lip here. I got to sand that off. The blade wasn't long enough. But anyways, I'm going to cut these and make the shower curb. So I think we're going to go, I don't know, it's looking a little narrow, you know, from this mark to this mark, you know, where the bed and the wall is going to be, because really this would be the inside of the wall, and you figure you're going to be basically another 4 inches over. I don't know, we'll see, we'll figure it out. Alright, I got the shower curb all caulked in. I just used, well, I threw it away because the tube actually had all the caulk going inside the caulk gun instead of out the end, if that makes sense. So anyways, I caulked all the seams and wiped them down. It doesn't have to be that pretty. I ended up doing a little bit different here for the shower drain than I was originally going to do, but it is what it is. This sits down there. I cut it a little bit big. It's not a pretty perfect circle, but I cut it a little bit big because the Flex Seal is going to be a little thick in there too. So the caulk is just to fill in the gaps and hopefully seal it, and then the Flex Seal will do the rest. And I'm going to mask up the wall, maybe let's say 4 inches, and then that way, if for any reason water seeps up, or gets in there, it'll be waterproof. And then I think I'm gonna maybe come out a 1/2 inch on the epoxy too. Frickety frick. Well, at least my measurements were good. Cut right through them. Oh well. Alright, so you can see I have sanded all the epoxy down so this Flex Seal's got something to grab to. I masked the back splash kind of there. And well, I didn't do this one, but oh well. Because, well, for whatever reason, I caulked everything, and then I went underneath and put duct tape there in the drain. So now we're gonna mix black and white Flex Seal so we can get gray. I've never used this stuff, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to expect here. Does smell like it does smell like rubber. Smells like, I don't know, it smells between like the epoxy and new tires. Oh, what the frick? White and white. I thought I got two things in black. Or one white, one black. Well, oh well. I guess we're going white now. Alright, so the Flex Seal's on there. Got this off Amazon. I'll put it in the description. This is just sand, but it was 25 bucks. I'm not sure if it's worth it. Probably go get some play sand, but this is just gonna, I don't know, keep it from getting slippery. Maybe I'll do another coat after this. Maybe not. Maybe this will give us our gray look. And I assume once this dries, all the excess will sweep off. Alright, that's all we wrote. Doesn't look the greatest. Maybe I go with another coat of white. Maybe when it dries, I sweep off all the excess. And I don't know, of course now, on second thought, I probably should have mixed it in with the paint. Alright, I got this panel cut, and you can kind of see it. I put the carpet tape on there, and I haven't peeled the backer off yet, but I'm going to put it on this wall here, and where there is no tape, I'm going to put silicone. So the silicone, once it dries, is what's going to hold it, and then this is going to hold it in place till it dries, and maybe it holds it in place, you know, as well. So. Alright, maybe not. Maybe that went on pretty good. Hell yeah. Alright, that's one shower wall. Alright, so you can see here, I got the one shower wall in, shower panel. It's funny, you can see the silicone in the picture on the camera. Can't see it in real life, but this is just it's like yard sign, poster board kind of stuff. I got it from Home Depot for like 30 bucks a sheet. So it's light. It's actually like plastic cardboard, essentially what it is. But it's light and waterproof. Okay, I mounted this and it's too low. So we're gonna do something different. We're gonna raise it up. Now what the heck did happen to the damn drill? Here you go. Alright, drill baby drill. Sink. Alright, that looks good to me. Let me measure and make sure. See what we got going on here. Alright, so 34 1/16. What the hell? 1/8 well on this side. Why me? Exactly. I don't even care anymore. It's good enough. Alright, anyways, this is the shower tower panel. This is like 125 bucks on Amazon. So we'll have to see how it does. And then I guess it just bolts together. I've done a lot off camera because I was getting frustrated and I was getting frustrated and the camera wasn't helping things. So I got this mounted up and I got a lot of stuff plumbed in. I don't have the sink plumbed in yet, or I got the drain hooked up, but I still gotta get, I ordered the wrong T-fittings. Those are 1/4 inch compression. I need 3/8 compression. So that's for the faucet. And you can see over here I've done all the PEX with shark bites. A little expensive that way, but makes it easy to undo the connections when I realize I need to do something different. So cold water goes down, goes underneath, comes right up right there. That's the pump. That's the outside water, which I got on the off position right now. And then it comes here. So if I want to have just shore power, or if I want to have city water, I turn that on and turn this off. And then if I just want to go off the tanks, I turn this one off or on and that one off. And then the way it's gonna work is when it's full, I'll have that. I'm gonna cap this one off because this is lower than that one. But so this one will go just 90 underneath the trailer, and that way when it's full, you'll hear it overflowing, and then you stop the water. You turn it off here, turn it off outside, and then you'll have water. So I just drain these tanks with the pump because I need to put a crossover tube. I think I'm going to go from the top of this one to the bottom over there. And I also need to put some pipe dope, this pipe dope on the fittings. Alright, so I just made this little tray, 2x6 and 2x4. Pocket hold all the screws. So hoping this should be enough to hold it in. And I put that little block right there going that way to prevent any force going that way. I guess I should have done the same thing here, but I don't have much room. But I think it'd be alright. This one's tied into this, so that should help. Plus this one's a lot smaller tank. So now I really need to go get the air conditioner and measure that up, because I'm only gonna have like a foot right here, it looks like, and I don't think I particularly take that into consideration. I mean, really the air conditioning can go right there where those wires are coming out the wall, but I don't know, I'm not exactly sure, because that's where the fuse panels are going to be, and then I guess I can put the breaker panel up top. I don't know. I want to have a refrigerator. Maybe not though. Maybe no refrigerator in this baby. Alright, I got a bunch of the bed frame done. So that's the top bunk. This is the bottom bunk. And it's, I think, 49. Yeah, it's 49 or 49 and a half inches wide. So a sheet of plywood's barely going to fit on here. And that will be, I'll put probably 3/8, maybe 1/4 inch plywood over top, and then screw it so it doesn't cave in, and then put the bed on top. Alright, so this is the fuse block I'm using. Oh my god, I got stuff everywhere. It comes with these. I'll be using my own. Plenty of fuses. Perfect. Comes with some screws. Comes with labels. And comes with the fuse block. So I think it only makes sense to mount it right there. Alright, so I have gotten some more work done off camera. And man, I was freaking getting beat. It was so hot in this damn trailer. Even with the insulation, no air conditioning, the phone overheated and stopped recording. So luckily, now I know I was not going crazy. So I mounted this so it doesn't come up. Still waiting on the correct valves, these T valves. Those will just go in here, and then this will, boom, go on these little valves. Now I did have to put some You can see that 90-degree elbow in there. And they use these little washers. However, if you tighten them too much, the little washers, they like go like this, and they go inside the pipe. So I'm a little worried about that. I don't think it'd be that big of an issue. So I got the tanks in. I have one little leak at that bottom fitting, and I'm not even sure if I'm gonna screw with it. Maybe I don't know. I really do need to. But I got this crossover tube, and I wasn't really sure where it should go, but now I know this needs to go up there. And I got these tanks full of water, so rather undoing that fitting over there, plugging it, and then you put it there, I just ordered another fitting and a T, and I'm just gonna tee it off, and that way it's all vented, and whichever way it wants to go, it'll go. So I got these mounted in here. I don't think they're gonna have any problem going up. I think they'll be fine. I ordered a cap for this one. I still need to do a 90 on that and go down. But these valves are working. I got the water pump plumbed in. I ordered a new battery box, and I don't have any nuts. I know, but the lights are still on. You can see I reset the breaker. How do you reset it? There we go. So I got the breaker hooked up, and then it comes through here, and it goes to this. It goes to the shut-off switch. Boom. And then that feeds the whatever you want to call it, circuit fuse box. Now I just also ordered a little panel, a little Amazon panel that tell you the voltage. Super standard, cheap Chinese stuff, but it's got like a USBs. It's got a bunch of little switches, USBs, a 12-volt outlet, and then it's got a battery gauge or a voltage gauge. So I haven't done anything with the 110 yet. I just mounted that. I actually had to bend these tabs out a little bit so this thing will work right. So that way, if you go from eventually when I want to run a inverter with batteries, that's what this one will be for. That's what this one will be for. But for now, I got, I don't know, a couple circuits here. Really I'm only gonna have maybe 2 or 3. I don't know. So that's that. This is the plumbing. Now, I had to do it like this because whenever I want to take this, whenever I want to change that panel for whatever reason, maybe it falls apart going down the road, I need to have some slack to get these off. So that's just the way it came out. Everything else looks real nice. You wouldn't use an elbow like this in a house, but it just shoots straight down. I did not take into account for the air conditioner. I was pretty confident that I was going to have more room, but I didn't. But I measured it out, or actually my buddy measured it out, and we can put a little shelf right here, and the AC will sit on top of that, and we'll have just enough clearance at that top. And I made these. My brad nailer's not holding them on. They keep popping off, so I guess I gotta screw them on. But the bunk beds are done, and looking at it now, I could have made the bathroom. The bathroom is just almost as big as the living area or the sleeping area. You ain't really doing much living in here, but I guess I'll paint it up. Got some leftover paint, and paint it up. I need to insulate the back wall. Still, I need to seal up those gaps. I don't know. I think this is enough light for just the 12-volt lighting. I'll get some 110 stuff. It'll be easier to wire in and such. Which I don't know. I don't really know how. At first, when I was doing this, I was ready to go all out and freaking make it all nice fit and finish, which I think so far my fit and finish is pretty good, other than this 2x4 is leaned in at the top because it's got a lot of pressure on it for a tight fit. But I was really wanting to go all out and have like a super refined build, but I don't know, I'm kind of burnt out at this point. I probably got, I don't know, 2 weeks of, half days going on with it. But I think I'm gonna order like some tiny little refrigerator to go right here, like a little square one, and then that'll be that. You have a little refrigerator right there. You have your air conditioner there. You have just enough room for your getting in and out of bed. You'll have a little storage cubby under there, or underneath the air conditioner, and then you'll have this little bit of here for storage as well. As far as luggage, I don't know. I'll put it in the truck, I guess. So, anywho, hope I got some stuff on the time lapse. Not sure. Lots has happened since I videoed. Like I say, in the last little update, there's not enough space in here to catch. The angle's not wide enough, or it's too wide, or something. Whatever the verbiage is. But we got lots done here. Got the bunk beds done. I'm about to paint them. Got this wall done. I got the bathroom done. I took a shower in it, tested it all out. I was able to take a shower for like 10 minutes. This is the vinyl bathroom door. Now this, I couldn't get to work right because, I don't know. So I put the screw, and it goes like that, and it locks in perfectly. I hung up a couple little hooks. Still got to do the top trim. And I meant to buy one black and one white to make gray, and I actually bought 2 whites. So I got the water heater wired up. Now this isn't, I guess, the prettiest, but it works. It's connected. I got the sink hooked up, and I got the breaker off right now. But I tell you what, this right here is hot. This baby's got some hot water. And then we got the 110 plug here. That's the exhaust fan. So you just flip this switch, and then it exhausts. So I made these covers for the bunk bed, and I got a battery charger in here right now. This is a temporary one. I'll get a more permanent battery tender charger. This is the vent hose, so it just goes down the bottom, and that's that. There's nothing too spectacular going on here. I need to get some nuts for my battery, and you notch that out. So I got the 110 power here. It comes in. I had to go offset because of this stud right here, so that's why it is like that. Now the air conditioning was blowing cold, but it would never get this place cold enough. So there was a post on this Facebook group I'm on, and they're like, "Oh, you ever use a 2-hose AC unit?" I'm like, "Well, why would you ever want to use 2 hoses?" Which essentially, now it makes sense, because this blows out, right? Well, if it's blowing out, which is blowing a lot out, it's got to suck in from somewhere. So it was creating a vacuum in the living area, and it was the bathroom area was always hot. It was hot. So essentially, it was blowing out and it was sucking through the exhaust vent. So I'll put a picture. Whoa. I made this. Looks a little ghetto, but essentially now the air, instead of sucking the air from the atmosphere in the living area, it sucks it through here to the back. Whoa. this section is a little wonky. Huh. Okay, once I put the mattress down, it'll be alright. I don't have a lot of, maybe I'll just make a 1-inch spacer that'll lay on top of that tank. That's probably what I'll have to do. What else? Got a mini fridge in here. It's cold. Then I got a 110 right there, and I got a 110 right there. And then I did put this 12-volt panel in. This does the water pump. And then I'm gonna do like some strip lights. Those cheap strip lights. I'll put that on a switch, and then the other two are just whatever. You got a cigarette lighter and a USB, and of course, you know, the battery voltage. I ran the conduit. What else? I really like how this one little screw ended up working out. It locks in nicely. Now, this is where I put the power port. Right here, I just use this deep box, and then I use this 10-3 wire. It's 3 wires, 10 gauge in there. This is just an adapter, which I tell you what, I had everything running in there, and this thing got crispy. You can see it started melting, so can't be running all the stuff off that little guy. You can see there goes the wire. Oh, let me get down here. And then it goes over. You can see I got all the plumbing, and I got the PEX pipe. It's all secured with these little straps, except for the drain so far. I gotta hook that up still, which I need to cut that off. And then this will just be like a slip joint right here, and basically I can hook up a water hose and discharge the water wherever I want, whether it's a actual septic hookup. Okay, so the video is already about an hour, and this is where the RV camper toy hauler has ended up. I've gone on one trip with it so far. It worked awesome. I was able to take 3 or 4 super hot showers with the 60 gallons. And I only plugged this in for 1 day, and it held hot water for 2 days. So that's that. Everything worked good. I do need to figure out some more like flat tabletop stuff. Maybe I'll put like a folding table here, or maybe I don't know. Need to figure out some sort of, maybe I'll put a folding table on the door, because I have made this top bunk, because I was by myself, I had made this top bunk a, you know, my workstation or whatever. But everything worked good. Bungee straps on that. Bungee strap on the refrigerator here. Like so. Come on, there we go. And I put a bungee strap on that. Didn't even use the toilet. This is the toilet I ended up getting off Amazon. It's just a traveling camping toilet. You know, it'll get you by. Yeah, I pretty much showed you everything else. The only thing I didn't show you was I did put a light underneath. You can see the light. Yeah, it worked really good. I didn't even have to use the air conditioner while we were gone, because it was, the weather was so good. But the toy hauler has come to an end. I'll probably do a video, you know, after I use it a couple of times, and, you know, show you what other stuff I do to it. But I just used some 6-inch memory foam mattresses. I should trim them down, but I'm too lazy. They should be trimmed about 4 inches. But they work good, and that's it.